Good afternoon. It's March 7th, 2023, and today we had a downtrend day, and you can see we have a break up here, and I mean, perhaps I didn't check this out, but perhaps you get two measured legs. No, not really, but really we had two legs down. You could see it went a little further. But that's where we found support at the end of the day. So just two measured legs down. Some good trades today. A lot easier, in my opinion, or I should say, much better setups than what we've been seeing lately. So let's take a look at these. In the overnight, prices were just ranging. Something like this. And you couldn't really take anything in here. It was just ranging. But this turned out to be a channel. And so we sold off and started chopping downwards at the open. And then we're going sideways. But then we come back to that trend line. That is a second entry short. And then you get a lower high, but it's above the EMA. And then you get the failure, but that's above the EMA. But then you get another lower high. I mean, maybe you consider this one, but I like this one the best, the second entry short. There's probably 3 ticks back to the EMA if you're worried about that. 51.75. Okay, a couple ticks back to the EMA. So I mean, you're heading back to the EMA, but that looks like, no, I was going to say it looks like we tested the lows, but really the low is probably right there. Yeah, and you can see that midline up there. So yeah, that's actually the second test because we tested the lows right there, and then we tested it again. So I like those entries, and a lot of people must have seen that, and then they started selling, and we get this spike and channel down here, but that's pretty far from the EMA. But we just had a very strong move down, so you might take this second entry short. It's got a matching low, so maybe you don't look at it like a second entry short, but you also get a failure. And then you get some lower highs off this trend channel. Maybe you take these, get a double test right there. Problem is you're going into the lows. But we come down here, and then we bounce. And we actually start trending up. You can see that we shoot through the EMA. And I don't think you want to go long here because this is, at this point, it's a pretty nice strong downtrend. So I don't think you want to buy. But anyway, we're inside this channel. We bounce kind of randomly here. I don't think you want to take this failure either because this swing is above the EMA, and then this swing went above the EMA. It ended up closing below the EMA, but I just don't think you want to take that. We go higher. Come to the top of the channel and then just sell off, and that's all she wrote after that. Really, this looks like 2 legs down, but really like 1 leg, So I mean, we could just have a break, move to a new low, and then you get I looked at this as a double bottom, so a first entry, second entry short. The super bearish bar, it finds resistance at this trend channel line, so I like that one. You can see a lot of people like that. Technically this is a second entry, but whoops, that signal bar is not great, and it's above the EMA. But then you get a failure that's also a second entry short, and I really like that one. Even though it's sideways, I think it looks like a failure. So, and that probably confirms a shorter term channel. Yeah, you can see that. So, a few reasons to take that. But then we get some buying, and then we're just going sideways, and now we have a new low after the break of this larger channel. Maybe I should put this in. So you have a break of the larger channel, a couple legs down to a new low. So you want to see what's going to happen, and prices are still going lower. So when you get this this pretty nice strong leg down right here, and you get a break, and you get a second entry short, maybe you take that. You can see we're just kind of chopping around with a downward bias. So this one, I mean, look at all that support. Maybe you take it's a strong move down. So maybe you take this one. You know, when you're late in the trend, you really should be very very conservative. I feel like nothing in here. And then we find some support right here. It's a little bit at the 4,000, or a little close to the 4,000 mark. You can see right here, right at that 4,000 mark, we get that support. Just something to think about. Strong move up. I guess all this congestion, people are like, you know what, let's just take our profits. And so it rockets up, and you get this lower high. I mean, maybe you take that, all that room back to the EMA. It looks like we get a slight overshoot that led to the break. Maybe you consider that. And then we get a lower high. And you try and go higher once and twice, but that's a lot of overlap. I mean, it kind of looks like a repeat pattern, though, of this failure. Yeah, it really does. So maybe you take that one. But if you're patient, well, actually, no. This is a hidden second entry, so it's not even a great setup. But it is a hidden second entry. If you see that, maybe you take it. Then you get these lower highs. Maybe you take those on a day like today. But if you're patient, you get this second entry short. That's also like a triple test right there. But the problem is, I marked this red, but I mean, you might have this channel. I mean, by then, you're still not too sure. I mean, could it be flatter? No, probably not. But this was a channel. It looked like a channel. So if you're taking that, that's a no man's land. But it was pretty clear that we were trying to make this measured move. And you can see we make a double bottom when we hit that measured move. But even still, you might take this hidden second entry. But when it bounces there, you know, this looked like, I can't really describe it, but it just had the feel of us going towards the other side of the channel to make a break. And that's exactly what happened. So you just want to be careful. No setup right here, unfortunately, but maybe you do take this signal bar. But you do get a failure right here. First entry, failed second entry, right off that key entry point, and it continues a little lower. And then there's actually a reversal setup, and we're overdue for a correction, but you're not going to catch me going long on a day like today. And that's how I saw it. So just two measured moves, two measured legs down. So I hope everyone had a good day today. I'll be back tomorrow.